I'm disappointed, but I mean, it's totally understandable.
It's by far our biggest day of the year.
Well, the 104th running of the Indianapolis 500 now set for August 23rd. It's a blow to race fans and business owners, but it wasn't unexpected. Good evening, everyone. I'm Phil Sanchez.
And I'm Brooke Martin. The month of May will seem very different this year in Indianapolis.
No doubt about that. For the first time since 1945, there will be no Indianapolis 500 in May. Sports Director Anthony Calhoun joins us now with today's announcement, AC.
All right, hey, thanks a lot. Good evening to you guys. You know, the news we all thought was going to happen was made official today. The Indianapolis 500 has been rescheduled for Sunday, August the 23rd, due to the coronavirus pandemic. Officials from IndyCar have announced. Now, race fans have come accustomed to seeing the greatest spectacle in racing during Memorial Day weekend, but that will not be the case this year. IMS official tells us tonight that canceling the 500 it wasn't an option. They wanted to make sure the race would happen in 2020. The key was finding two back-to-back weekends for the 500 to stay consistent with the race's tradition. So mid-August seemed to be the perfect fit for the situation.
It was not just the priority of everybody here at 16th and Georgetown, but it was Roger Penske's priority. From the very beginning, he said, look, we're going to figure out a way to get the Indianapolis 500 in 2020, and his challenge to us was, I want to make sure that when fans come, they get as much of that on-track activity as they're used to in May. So that's why we have those 2 weekends in a row. We had to find those 2 weekends, had to move a couple IndyCar races, but you get a qualifying weekend, you get a Fast Friday, you get Carb Day on track, and you get the 500.
All right, so here's a look at the Indianapolis 500 schedule. And by the way, you may be wondering, what about that, that Indy Grand Prix race, the road race in the month of May? Well, that's going to take place now during the weekend of the July the 4th weekend with the Brickyard 400. So you got IndyCar and NASCAR doubleheader, if you will, that weekend of the July the 4th. As you see right there, the race once again taking place on August the 23rd. We had a chance to catch up with our racing analyst tonight, Tice Carlson, and he believes that the economy had a big role in this decision to move it from May to August.
I think that the timing was important. They couldn't have waited till Easter. You know, with corporate America, with the decisions that have to be made, with bringing people in, I just think that it was the proper time. You know, time was weighing on their shoulders, and they did the right decision. You know, I haven't heard a bad thing about it. What it's going to do is it's going to give corporate America and the teams and the sponsors, everybody, time to get back on their feet.
Yeah, you know, Tyson's right about that. So once again, the Indy 500 moving from May to August. One thing is for sure, though, Phil, it is going to be hot. We've got much more of this coverage coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. Also, we're going to hear from some of the drivers to get their perspective on this big news. Guys.
All right, looking forward to it, AC. Thank you. Brooke.
All right, well, for some businesses in Speedway that depend on the greatest spectacle in racing, well, it's better late than never. Wish TV's Dan Klein joins us now live from Main Street, where some businesses are saying, you know, it's maybe good to have an extra 3 months to prepare.
Yeah, around here, the month of May is bigger than Christmas, but for ledgers waiting and ready for that big cash infusion, they'll have to wait a few more months. The key turns in the lock at the main attraction. It's not open for the public, but owner Bill Norton is using this forced shutdown to fix, paint, and clean. The coronavirus, a problem here, but a possible bigger one on the horizon if the track down the street stays empty all year.
Deeply concerned, not panicky.
That's because May means twice as much income here as any other month, including December, which is true for most along Main Street.
Big deal for us.
It is safe to say there's not a low estimate. Not at all.
Our sales are easily 4 times our sales any other time of the year, if not greater.
So the news Thursday, the Indy 500 is still happening in 2020, even if it's on a 3-month delay. Very, very welcome. Though for many, it's not a surprise.
I was not worried they would cancel it. I believe in Roger Penske after his purchase of the whole thing over here. He is a great businessman. He will make it happen.
But on a day where it's carry-out only at restaurants and the streets are mostly bare, just the thought of wall-to-wall people and 90-minute wait times is tough to believe. But for those waiting, an extra 3 months seems like a very good thing.
Gives us a little breathing room since we're closed down.
And it's not just business owners celebrating either. Employees themselves count on the week and the month to help out the rest of the year.
A lot of us make a lot of our money that weekend, and you know, you can have those slow months in the winter knowing that that time of year is coming around.
But this year it's coming 3 months later. Even with 2 months notice, it's a huge change for fans who plan their calendar every year around the race. But Main Street doesn't seem to worry there will be a drop-off.
I think they'll be here. I think they'll come.
It's the Indianapolis 500. It is one of the biggest sporting events in the entire world. I don't have a concern for that. People will make it happen. It's that much fun.
Joe Wrights tells me that anticipation is our favorite emotion. So just think, if it's like Christmas around here, you've got 150 days from now to get ready and anticipate Santa Claus coming to town. Reporting live in Speedway, Dan Klein, Wish TV News 8.
That's a great way to look at it, Dan. All right, thanks so much. Meanwhile, city officials also breathing a sigh of relief about this move. Leaders with Visit Indy tell us they believe the race is worth hundreds of millions of dollars to the state's tourism industry every year. And with the postponed race still falling in the summer travel season between Memorial Day and Labor Day, they believe there is plenty of time for people to adjust. There's also plenty of time for them to adjust their marketing as well.
We believe it's still as marketable during the summer months as it would be during Memorial Day, because there's so many rabid fans, so many race visitors that come in from all over the world each year.
One big event already happening during that window of August is the State Fair. Chris Gall says, hey, that's a good thing. The more events the city has going on at once, the longer visitors will stay, and the two will complement each other.
All right, race fans have never seen anything like this, but they really weren't surprised. News 8's Jenny Drasler was also in Speedway today and has more on how they're taking the news. Jenny?
Yeah, Phil, fans obviously disappointed over this, but a lot of them were accepting of it. They knew that this was coming. A lot of fans told me today that this was the right move. The news that the month of May was moved to the month of August came as a shock to no one.
For me as a race fan, when I saw that the Monaco Grand Prix with Formula One got canceled, as soon as I saw that one, I was like, oh, 500 is next.
After seeing other major sporting events canceled or postponed, Indy 500 fans like Zach Hudson knew that it was an unfortunate possibility the race could be pushed back. Hudson lives off Speedway Drive, inviting strangers to park on his lawn for race day. It usually makes him a couple $100 a year, but now his annual tradition, that's as unwavering as the IMS flag that hangs from his house, will have to wait.
I'm disappointed, but I mean, it's totally understandable given the situation. I mean, you're going to bring in 300,000+ people on one space during this pandemic. It's understandable.
The move to postpone comes because of concerns for the sheer number of people, upwards of 250,000, that would all come together in one place for the 500.
I think this is for the best, because I think even if they did have it in May, it wouldn't be well attended. And this is the biggest sporting event in the world, and it needs to be as well attended as possible.
The news even affecting those not from Indy, like Tyrone Hardnett from Florida, relieved that safety was top of mind at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
That's amazing. I mean, this coronavirus is having an impact everywhere and on everything, and I guess that's just next in line.
But if there's one thing race fans were sure of, their love of the 500 won't change, no matter when it takes place.
I think Penske will do a good job whenever it happens. It's a shame it can't be in May, but it'll still be a good thing.
Now, some race fans told me that if this decision would have made, say 3 to 4 weeks ago, we could have seen a lot different reaction here. But fans telling me that the mood, the mentality has shifted in the last week or so over this. The fans realize just how serious the situation is, and they're applauding IMS tonight for what they say was, again, the right thing to do. Live from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Jenny Drasler, Wish TV News 8.
Yeah, they made the right call, Jenny. Thank you very much.